Good morning, man. It's great to be back here in the studios of AMG, and it's going to be a beautiful day. And right here in the Ozarks, I am your host, Steve McAllister, and this is Silver Linings. And we've got a great show for you. I'll introduce Caleb here in a couple minutes. Matt, nice to see you. Um, it was great to see Jay last night. He did an awesome job doing the audio and the video. And speaking of that, I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if Larry's going to be watching today, but Larry, Jackie, Matt, you did an awesome job when you were there. Jordan, I don't know. He was calling me illegal and telling me I had an underage business going on, and it was only tattoos. I mean, we had those not iron on, but the paper tattoos. Pour water on it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. his son was like, "You're illegal." What kind of church is this? Passing out tattoos. But we're actually having Vacation Bible School all this week, and tonight's night number 4, and it's been an awesome. We've had great kids all week, and we're just enjoying ourselves. So I just wanted to say a great big thank you to Pastor Paul and Northwest Church, and they did an awesome job decorating the decor of 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. And so thank you very much. And I'm really glad to be back. And so now on to the fun stuff. Uh, oh, by the way, do we have a commercial coming up, Mr. Matt? At 10 after. Okay, just let me know. Anyway, we're gonna have a short break here, so if I stop, just hold that thought.
No worries.
Ladies and gentlemen, this the guest that I'm having today is in fact, I just met you. How long has it been?
It's been a little over a month.
Yeah, a little over a month ago, and he has been all over the place. I'm telling you. Now, Scott, Mr. Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Is he your manager? Is he?
He's just the producer of Treasure Lies, producer and writer.
Okay. I wasn't sure who he was, and I thought, man, if he's a manager, where is he? But anyway, he stars in this movie that's really incredible. We'll get into that, but it's a cool movie. And I didn't even know he was there until after I saw the movie. He's sitting in the chair, or he's sitting on a couch chilling. I'm like, man, he looks really familiar. No, he can't be that guy. No.
So you did know?
Yes.
You told me you didn't.
No, I didn't know. And then I kept on looking, and I'm like, no, he's too young. But he does. I was going back and forth in my mind. I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and ask. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Caleb here, and he's going to tell you guys if there's any future filmmakers or current filmmakers you want to listen to this young man, because you know what, you may want him in your next film. So that was a little plug in there.
Appreciate it.
So first of all, you grew up in a small town. This is Caleb Milby, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I said that right, because my stupid phone said Milky, and because he's like, it's Caleb Milky, and I went, oh, it's a stupid phone. So anyway, you grew up in a small town outside of Wichita, Kansas. Mm. Is that where you're currently at now?
I've been in Wichita since October. I had been in LA for the last 3 years before that.
Okay, so man, you came into the little Kansas City town of Wichita versus LA,
right?
The traffic's not that bad, is it?
Not quite. No, it's getting there. It's getting worse, but not quite there.
But because I know that the old good old LA traffic. I lived in San Diego, so
Mm,
and traffic can be real bare.
yeah.
So, so just tell me a little bit about yourself. Other than just tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Besides where you grew up.
Um, Besides where I grew up,
Yeah, just along with where you grew up
right?
and what it was like being a teenager type thing.
Okay, yeah. So, I grew up in a little town outside Wichita, Kansas called Rose Hill. I started acting when I was 8. So from there, as far as my career, well, here I was homeschooled for the first until 4th grade. Then 4th grade, I went to private school. Then went to middle school at Rose Hill Middle School, and then from there, after that, I was in LA. So I didn't really have much of a typical teenage
Oh
experience.
yeah, when you're in LA, man, if you were homeschooled in LA.
I was going online at that point. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
that must have been a challenge.
It it was unusual, but yeah. So from there, acting in LA from that point, really, I would spend episodic season in the fall there for a month, maybe 2, then pilot season in the spring. So I was just constantly bouncing back and forth between Wichita and LA. So
Oh
I
man,
didn't have a ton of time to settle down and just
you know,
have fun.
exactly. You weren't the typical teenager or young person that would like, hey, let's go play baseball, let's go play kickball.
Right.
It was more like, what script am I reading?
Right. The summers were still usually pretty normal, but as far as like school years and stuff like that, I wasn't usually around all that much. I did one semester in the building in high school, which was my sophomore year. I did the first semester there, and then I was graduated that next summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it can be a challenge for young people. I mean, because you start out at 8 years old, and because of the way LA is and the way filming is and things like that. And did you ever do commercials?
I do a few here and there. That's not my primary thing, but yeah, if an opportunity comes up, I'll do
Yeah.
them.
Well, I was just thinking, man, for a young person, because I know a few of them that have just said, I did this commercial when I was this year old, and now I've got um now I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It just seems like, oh man, poor kid.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of them that well, before we get into it, because there's a lot of good questions I have for you, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Enter the talent contest at Axe Fest. $10 entry, $50 to winner. Axe Media Group.
Your sandwich was so limited.
Your sandwich had a lot of butt.
Oh man, that sandwich contest was something else. And did Jay say a lot of bun?
No, he said a lot of butt.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure if he said butt. I thought no. Then again, I'm thinking, yeah.
Jim said it had like pork butt in it.
I had a lot of butt. That we have our Act Fest coming up this year. That we got a sandwich contest that we do, and last year it was hilarious.
What's
Anyway,
a sandwich contest? Who makes the best
yeah,
sandwich? or is it
who
like a
makes the
food
best
eating?
sandwich?
Okay.
Yeah, and we call it what do you call it? Springfields or Springburg's sandwich.
Springburg Sandwich Saint competition.
That wasn't that was that wasn't our title. We didn't come up with that title. Remember, the views and opinions expressed are not necessarily ours or acts of ministry. Anyway, where we're okay, I know where we were. We were talking about grade school and you acting, and
Mm.
I bet you there were some tough times though too. I mean, I'm sure everybody goes through some tough times during their school year.
Right. Yeah. And I was really close to my friends from school, so making the decision to leave them and go to LA, just because LA is completely different. It's huge culture shock, completely different world. And so, it was tough leaving them and kind of doing my own thing and rebuilding my life. But at the end of the day, that's what I felt like I needed to do and to give to push forward.
Yeah. So, this is probably an easy question, but um, did you miss out on a lot because you were homeschooled? Did you miss out on a lot of things that happened at school, like senior prom?
Um, yeah, actually, the only prom I ever went to was in Treasure Lies. That's my only prom.
That's why I was being careful with that question. I thought, I guess that was a good, okay question, but I'm thinking I've got to ask him about senior prom if he ever went.
Yeah, I went to one formal my freshman year, which was I wasn't there. I got invited after leaving. I was still online at that point. So
Oh man.
yeah,
So hey, at least you got a prom.
yeah, something.
What's it like? What was it like working with I forgot her name now, the one that you co-starred with?
Rachel,
Yeah. She won, I think, didn't she win the
she was nominated.
nominated?
Hmm.
So what was it like going back to high school and being in a senior prom?
Um, that was probably my favorite night of the shoot because that was the day we had everyone together, which doesn't really happen. So we had almost everyone besides like parents and stuff like that there. The PAs were in there acting. We had Jonathan and Rachel and Logan. Everyone was there. So it was super late too, so none of us really had any idea what was going on, which made it a little more interesting. But yeah, it was a really special night for that shoot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that was a fun movie. I'll tell you what, you've got to we're going to talk about how to get in touch with Treasure Lives, but man, that's one of those, I'd say, high school films that if you're a high schooler, you really enjoy the film, and then there's your Jeep.
Right. There was the Jeep, yeah.
Folks. You'll just have to watch the movie. It's really cool, but behind the scenes of the Jeep. Well, if you want to, you can touch it, but we don't need to go there.
I have a love-hate relationship with the Jeep.
Yes. Oh man, people. I don't have any comments yet, but I'm sure people. What about the Jeep?
Right. You'll see.
You'll see. See, for me to say certain things, I'm just leaving certain things out because it's one of those movies where you have to watch it and understand it, and you'll get a kick out of it. That's what I'm saying. Of course, you know what? I got to be truthful. I didn't watch the whole thing because Aubergine, I didn't watch her part. I came in after her part was done, and so I was like, oh man, I know there's got to be more to this than because I came in during the prom.
You came in kind of late then.
Yeah, I came in just as the prom was starting, and you and your buddies were all together. That's where I came in. I've been busy. I was doing other movies, helping so I was all over the place.
That's an
So-
interesting place to come in. A little confusing.
Yeah, so that's why I was confused at first, but then I caught on. But of course, I stayed till the end. And then I was like, "Whoa!"
Right.
After I realized, I was like, "That's why." Okay, that's why it's called Treasure Lives. All right, but like I said, it's one of those high school movies that you have to watch the whole thing, and don't go to the bathroom near the end of the movie because then you'll really miss it. Oh man. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna continue this, and let's see. All right. You've done other features too, then, besides Treasure Lies,
I've done one other feature. Yeah, it was called Gremlin.
Gremlin.
It's a little monster movie.
Ah, that wasn't the same one that we're thinking about. Where they?
No.
Okay.
They did that on purpose though to make people think it was kind of.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I know there was a sequel or something, and I thought, using what? Using Gremlins?
Right. Actually, there was a lot of I won't say a lot, a little bit of backlash on the trailer because everyone thought it was like Gremlins and like this is completely different. Why would they do this? They were so mad, but then It was different, so it's okay.
Right. What kind of well, obviously we know that the other Gremlins was kind of edgy and kind of scary at times, but what was Gremlins? Was it any scarier than that? Was it based on any
I've only seen Gremlins once, so and I was like probably 12, so
yeah.
I'm not super sure how it compares. Yeah, it's scary. There's very bloody. A lot of tension. You know, it's a horror movie.
Oh, so it was definitely rated R.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A
Okay.
little more extreme
Yeah.
than Treasure Lies.
Yeah, I would say definitely going the other way.
Yeah.
So who was your I guess role models or when you were growing up in movies and stuff, who did you follow your characters? I know that you said that you had did some leads.
Hmm.
Who did you really take after? Did you look after anybody as far as character wise?
Um, just actor wise, like which actors did I look up to?
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal was always a big one for me. I love his commitment and his attention to detail. Um, Heath Ledger was a good one too. Seeing him in Joker, that was
Oh,
like an acting awakening
he scared
for
me.
me. Yeah, it was so impressive, and the makeup too. Like I knew what Heath looked like, and I didn't even recognize him. Like I was trying to see his face under it, and I couldn't do it. And then I really like Brad Pitt.
Hmm.
He's so charismatic, and he's just interesting to watch to me. And then Leonardo DiCaprio. There's tons. I
Yeah,
mean,
Matt, or I mean, oh, you just said his name, and I'm having a brain freeze. um, Matt, you just mentioned him,
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. He's from this area.
He is, isn't he?
Didn't he go to Kickapoo? Or
No, it was Kickapoo.
yeah, that's what I thought. He went to Kickapoo High School.
How far is
So,
that from here?
Okay. Well, you know what? We got another break coming up, so we'll be right back because I want to touch on something. So
Me? No. Him.
How do we get back into the workforce?
I got you.
Who was that woman?
okay, we're back. Yeah, ever since we started doing these little commercial breaks, I'm so used to just going right on through, and all of a sudden we're doing these commercial breaks. I'm like,
Is it a
oh
new
yeah,
thing?
what was that?
Is it a new thing?
Yeah. So
When did you start those?
We started those probably month and a half, 2 months ago, but I
Okay.
haven't been here for like 4 weeks, and they added some things and did some things different. So now we have two short commercials now during our show, and I forgot about that because I hadn't been here, and I'm like, oh yeah. That's what happens when you're away,
Right.
But anyway, with so many local actors and actresses, and that's another thing. Have you worked with any big names in any of the films you've done?
Early on in my career, I was doing background down in Dallas, and Sean Astin was working that set.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. I mean, I still am. I just love those movies. It's probably the movies I've seen the most. I watch them at least once a year. So, and I didn't even know he was going to be there. I just went down there to work, and then he was there. I was like, ooh, like it was crazy.
Sean, he's done he did such a great job with Lord of the Rings,
Mhm.
and so the first time I saw him was the one with Kirk Cameron, um, where it was Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron, the brain transform serum thing.
I
I
haven't seen that
forgot.
one.
Anyway, that was the last. He was a young kid. Him and Kirk Cameron were both young.
Well,
That's
he's
when-
been going for so long. I mean, Goonies, was that his first thing,
think
or had
that-
he
I think
been
that-
working before that?
I think that was his first film, his first feature. The biggest one
Hmm.
for him was Goonies.
I mean, he had to be like what, less than 10?
I
when he
think he
did
was
that?
8 or 9 when he did Goonies.
It's crazy.
I know. And how old is he now? And he's got 2 kids now, I think.
Yeah.
Man, my wife loves watching Lord of the Rings. We've probably watched all 3 movies at least a dozen times a year.
Wow. You got me beat.
Well, I mean, I'll come home. What you doing? What you watching? And I know what you're watching. You're watching Return of the King. Did you watch the other 2 first? Well, yeah. Okay.
They're so good though.
Yeah, they've really got a good, and so that's why it impresses me that there's so many people out there and that's why I was asking you about working in other films, and what films would you like to work in the future, or what films have you been in that you've really enjoyed the most?
I don't know. A lot of people ask me like what kind of genre or movies do I want to make in the future, and
Right.
I don't really know yet. I want to get a little taste of everything to see how I feel while I'm doing each one. Like, yeah, I'll probably want to do some more comedies like Treasure Lies, but the thing that's evaded me so far has been like a nice hard hitting drama,
Mm-hmm.
which I want to see what I have in me to bring out in those scenes. But I got really close to one this year, but it didn't work out.
Oh man, it's like, what film would I most likely have a stereotype with?
Right.
I would like to see another Treasure Lies, but we'll find out. We'll see soon. See something.
It's a
maybe.
possibility.
Oh man, because I don't know why. It just was one of those movies where I just really enjoyed all the characters and what they did, and Rachel did such a great job.
It's a very feel good movie, but it's not like a happy movie, where it's
Right.
like inauthentic. But I think there's a lot of story left to tell there.
Right. That's what near the end of the movie, I thought, okay, there's got to be there should be a second one, because where they left off is where they should take off from for the
Right.
next one.
Right. Everyone's going to college, and
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Who knows?
The college years.
Yeah.
Because your
this takes a
character-
turn, goes American Pie.
Exactly. And it's almost kind of the squeaky clean version of American
Yeah.
Pie, is what I was thinking. And I thought, man, that was such a good film, and poor guy got, anyway. I'm sorry. It's one of those movies where I got to be careful. It's like, there's some scenes in there where you just don't want to give something away, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I already heard about that. It's like, it does. It just
A lot of
becomes-
things change throughout.
Yeah. So, and then I think there was another question I had. The thing that attracts me to the roles. Okay. You said the thing that attracts me to my roles is different every time.
Mhm.
How's that?
Each script has a completely different feel and quality about it. So I'm more attracted to the overall stories than the roles themselves. So like with Treasure Lies, at first I thought it was a drama. So I was very confused on how these things were happening, but I sat down with Scott and Brett Varvel, Brett Varvel, the director.
Say that right now.
The director, and one of Brett's big inspirations for it was like The Sandlot, and that friendship and tone throughout. So then it made a lot more sense to me. But yeah, it's just how the script leaves me feeling in the end. There are some scripts I read where I'm just enraged, and that's not the best feeling. But sometimes you can be enraged in a good way. Like, did you see Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Like that, very gripping
Oh,
story,
yeah.
but he just keeps making bad decision after bad decision until it catches up to him. But like that kind of rage, I think, is okay, because you're just engaged the whole time. But yeah, it's just different for every role.
Yeah, it's different for every role, because You know, some people take a script and they pull it apart and they go, man, is that really what I should be doing? Or is this, they have second thoughts about a script, or or it's shelved because some scripts do get shelved. Has that ever happened to you where I think you were telling me that earlier that you just telling me that something didn't work out. You got real close, but it didn't work out for you.
Uh-huh.
Because I've been involved in films where some things have been shelved, and not because of necessarily. It's been financial, basically. It's been finances for me.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it's so unpredictable, the business. There's a few things now that I'm still trying to push forward that have a good shot at going forward, but there's so many unforeseen circumstances and factors that go into everything. So I mean, I don't get comfortable until I'm shooting, really, on whether something's going to work out or not.
yeah, so you don't have too many people saying cut. No,
Not yet.
no, but you actually have to get familiar with your character and really like your character in order for you when the shoot starts. Then you're kind of like, oh, I know I can do this.
Mhm.
That's how I felt. It's like, ah, man, I have to get used to my character ahead of time, and I think that's a golden rule. I think you have to find your character and find out exactly who that person is, and
Mhm.
then take off with it.
Yeah. There's always the talk of method actors. I didn't quite understand what they were doing until I was working on Treasure Lies, because I figured it was just, like Daniel Day-Lewis went off to live in the woods, built a log cabin for Last of the Mohicans or something like that. But it had been a pretty normal shoot in Treasure Lies until the middle of week 2, I think. And it was a dinner scene. And I was sitting there in this just wave of like understanding washed over me. And everything connected. I saw all the dots connect. Everything made sense. I saw how this related to that, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I got it, because I think they're just getting into that. They're working their way into that sooner so they can be there for the whole shoot, as opposed to, getting it in the middle of the shoot like I did.
Right.
But yeah, for me, what helps me, I focus a lot on the emotion of the scene and
Mhm.
what's coming forward. A lot of people go straight to learning lines. I like to see what I'm projecting,
Mhm.
and then whether the lines are right or not, it's going to be authentic.
Right, and it's going to help your character or
Mm,
help you
right.
understand the character. And yeah, so it's really cool. Let's see. There was another thing. Oh, I was just going to say that. Have you really traveled a lot as far as, like you said, you're in Wichita now? Is
Mm,
that where you are now?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm headed back to LA in a couple months, but that's where I am for now.
All right. Is there any future films for you? Do you know of?
There are a few that aren't like, I'm not locked down,
All right.
but I'm involved in the process and pushing it forward. And yeah.
I hope you, man. I really hope you get into some. Man, I'd like to see you on the silver screen.
Yeah.
Well, you are on the silver screen, but I mean in the theaters and in the silver screen. I'd like to see. Well, man, it's really getting close. We've got another commercial coming up. So, see, it's been a while. It's only been 4 weeks. So we're gonna go to that commercial right now. We are back again. I think this is we're good with commercials, right? Okay. I just want to make sure of it.
Yep, you got 10 more minutes.
Okay. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So, is there any encouraging things that you could say to any future actor, actress? What would you say to them?
I mean, you really just got to commit to it. Like, I mean, I started when I was 8. I'm 21 now, so I'm 13, and I did Treasure Lies 2 years ago. A lot of people come in expecting to be the overnight success, which doesn't exist. Very rare circumstances does that exist, but most of the overnight successes have been working for years unseen before that. So really, it's just, understanding you're not going to come in and be the next big thing in a couple months. It's just not how it goes. Just put your head down, do the work, and go to festivals. Go meet people, make friends that make movies. Like, because starting out, that's probably the best place for you to be, just with friends, learning how things go, and just having fun. And those are the best environments to be in too. Because
Oh yeah, they're a lot of fun.
yeah,
You do meet I met some people that I haven't met before. Directors, producers. Josh Carpenter, I met him, and man, they're a lot of fun, folks. So you need to check out when the Branson International Film Festival, I know, is next April again, and I don't know what dates yet. I think it's the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, somewhere around in
it's already
there.
scheduled.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we always put a schedule together right away as soon as we can and find a week that we know that's going to be good for everybody. And we don't know who's all going to be there yet, but I think I heard Amy said that she was going to be back, and Amy McCorkle, so are you going to be back? Are you coming?
I don't know. I don't know where I'll be at that point.
Yeah, because it's only a year away.
Right.
Oh man, so I really appreciate you being here. How do they get in touch with you?
You can find me on Instagram at Caleb Milby. My Facebook is just Caleb Milby. My email is caleb@calebmilby.com for if anyone's trying to get in touch work wise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, remember that future filmmakers or current filmmakers, get in touch with this guy. He really knows some stuff. He's a great guy to get to know, and he's a hard worker and a great actor. And so, anyway, I just want to make sure I got that out there before. So let's see. There's a couple more things. There's how do I put this? Producers. Oh, do you plan on ever doing anything but acting? Are you planning on doing any producing, any directing? Is that in your future?
I'm not sure about producing yet. That's one that there's a lot of logistics to that I don't entirely understand. To do that on my own. I'm writing my first short right now, which I'm almost done with my second draft, and I think I'm going to do one more draft and then shoot it, and I plan on directing that too.
Oh wow! So that would be something. See, that would be something to find out whether your short makes it to the film festival or not. But is it can you say anything about it, or are you just keeping mum on that for a while?
I mean, I can be vague.
Okay, that's fine.
It's really just a story about grief and guilt and overcoming that, and that's probably all I can say without.
Yeah, well, that's good. You don't need to go any further because there's a lot of movies out there that show it, but they don't show a happy ending, and there are happy endings, then there's not so happy endings. And so people need to realize that there's a lot of real life stuff happening right now, and they're making them into movies, like 9/11. They made 2 or 3 movies, and whether they were real close to the movie, I never had a chance to see any of them. But I heard that one of them was so close to it really gripped their hearts because it was so close to them. So I'm glad that you're thinking about doing something like that, and so do you think you and Rachel ever work together again?
I don't know. I mean, that's completely up in the air on casting.
Yeah.
If we do a second Treasure Lies, then
I'm sure
probably
you should not do another Treasure Lies without her.
Right. But yeah, so I would like to, though.
I noticed that I saw the picture of you, and was that was your movie family from Treasure Lies, the lady and the other guy. Wasn't that your mom and dad? I mean, your TV mom and
Yeah,
dad?
Don Long and Mark Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So what was it like working with a TV mom and dad, versus your mom and dad?
They're so cool. Don is such high energy and so happy, fun all the time. And I was very exhausted during Treasure Live, so I wasn't as like. I mean, I was working every day for the full shoot, so when I wasn't working, I was off, almost sleeping somewhere. So when Don was always but I love Don. She's great, and Mark is like the chillest dude you'll ever meet. The first day I met him, it was the first day of the shoot. He came to the set. He wasn't working that day, and I thought he looked like the guy from the picture. I walked up and I said, "Are you my dad?" He goes, "I think so." I said, "All right then." And then he had like a Game Boy case on his phone, like those ones where you turn them around and you start playing. He started playing on one of those. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
No, that's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh man. Well, we've got a great show coming up next. That's Johnny Rooster. Is he going to be here in studio? Okay. Oh, he's not. Okay. He's on location, but you need to stay tuned for this guy. He's coming up next, and who knows what he's got lined up, but I know it's going to be good. So stay tuned for Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster coming up next. And well, I think we're going to get out of here. And Caleb, thanks again, buddy.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, come back again. You surprised me when you said, "Yeah, I'll just come to the studio." I'm like, "Oh, well, hey, okay."
It's more fun in person. Feel the energy.
Yeah,
connect.
Man, you drove a ways though.
Well, there were other things I can do down here too. Like I'm trying to meet up with Ducon.
Oh
Williams
yeah,
one down here.
He's a great guy.
I love him. He's so nice.
He's a cool dude.
And then I have a friend shooting down in Arkansas, like just across the border, that I might try to go visit.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I thought, man, that's a long drive. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. And I'd like to thank Caleb Milby, not Milky.
No, not Milky.
Milby for being my guest. And next week, it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be some great music. So until then, God bless. Go make your day fun. Take care.